And we're back.
Hello.
It's Amala.
It's Risa.
Welcome to Omri Unfiltered. What are we doing today, Risa?
So we've done a video about women giving male dating advice and men giving men dating advice. And now we have not done men giving women dating advice.
Ooh, we're really working with you guys.
Yes.
We're coming up with topics.
I would like the women to flood the comments with, you can't ask a fish how to fish.
Oh my gosh, the amount of men. Yeah, you can't, what was it? You can't ask a fish how to be a fisherman or some shit like that.
Wait, no, is that what it is? You can't ask a fish?
Yeah, because if you want to catch a woman, we sound dumb as rocks right now. If you want to tell a woman, which is the fish, like a woman is not going to tell me how to catch a fish.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
So you can't ask a fish. We sound really intelligent. Mark Cuban, we are these strong, independent, intelligent women who voted for Donald Trump. So yes, ladies, flood the comments with that. We're not going to ask a fish how to be a fisherman. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, some of it is good advice, some of it we'll unpack.
Yeah, so men, let's hear it. What should we be doing out on the dating scene? Number one, this guy's gonna break bro code and let us know what to do.
Ladies, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm probably breaking bro code by even sharing this, but I have to be honest. As a man, I'm speaking as a man here, we know very early on, what our intentions are for you. That means after date 1, date 2, we know if you're wife material, girlfriend material, and we're hunters. So we go after what we want. We will not waste time. If we want you, we will do what we have to do to get you, to have you. Because we're men, that's what we do. If he's stringing you along, ladies, if it's been months and he hasn't committed to you, he's not calling you his girlfriend, or if it's been years and he hasn't proposed to you, it's because he doesn't want you like that. I'm telling you right now, do not waste your time on men like that, because we will do whatever you allow us to do. And if you allow us to string you along, to play with you, that's exactly what we will do. So if you want a future, if you want a family, then you need to date men who have good intentions for you, who want the same things, who have the same values, because once again, we will play with you if you let us play with you. Don't.
Okay. I think we've heard enough here. I think that's absolutely 100% true. I've never heard a man actually say anything to the contrary with that. In fact, he said 1 to 2 dates. I think most men know within like 10 minutes of seeing you, speaking to you, where you are. And I've seen like people put this out on a graph. There's actually a TikTok account called a Homath, which you guys should look into.
Can somebody explain to me what emotional intelligence means?
Sure. It means when you recognize your own emotions and impulses and the emotions and impulses of others, and then you have the intelligence and skill to integrate both of them into a solution that gets everyone what they want.
But you have categories. It's like, I want nothing to do with you. I want to just sleep with you. I want to date you, and I want to marry or be in a long-term committed relationship. You are wifey. I want to have you have my kids. And men will put you in that category almost damn near as soon as they meet you. And there's not a lot of upward mobility, meaning if they put you in the bang category, you're not probably moving up to the dating category, and you're probably not moving up to the wifey category, but you can move down because we can always learn more, and red flags can pop up and they can move you down. But typically if they've spotted the red flags, you're not moving up.
I will say though, I do know of some relationships that have stemmed from it being a casual hookup, and then they ended up liking each other. So I think maybe the first initial reaction was, okay, it was just a hookup. We met on Tinder, and then they got married.
And you think the men categorize that woman in that way, and we're like, this is not going any further. And
I think that the men quickly decided after the initial interaction what they thought of this person, but I don't think that was their first reaction.
Interesting. Okay, so
it is very rare. I think that's a rare
I think
case.
I think men will jump to a certain sexual action, having already categorized you in a different sense. Like they might put you in a girlfriend category, but they're not treating you like a girlfriend. But they know that possibility lies there. I think they're also making micro judgments, and this may be subconscious, about how much they can get away with, as this guy said. They might have you in the girlfriend category, but you guys are hooking up casually because that's what he wants at the moment.
You agreed to it, yeah.
But you were probably in that category long before whatever took place. That would be my mindset on it, at least from what I've heard. But I don't know if it's 100% true. If you're a guy watching right now who's met a girl and you had her categorized lower, and then you're like, ooh, all of a sudden, she's giving wifey.
Yeah.
Let me know if that's happened. I know it happens with women all the time. All the time. Women will be like, this man is ugly.
Yeah. He's like my brother.
He's little. He's like, no, he's like my little brother. I don't, that's weird to me.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh girl, let me see the Instagram of the guy you're seeing. And they'll say, so my phone's dead. I can't even show you this
Doesn't
man.
have a lot of pictures.
Oh my God. Show me to me, please. Send it to me, Rachel.
His personality's really good. And then all of a sudden, he's moving up the ranks. And you can do that on like a sexual front. You can do that on an intellectual front, on a personality front. There's a lot of upward and downward mobility for women. I don't know if it's the same for men. Next. Okay, we got another one coming here. But so far, I think that was a good piece of advice. Now we're going to see a familiar face. This is Matthew Hussey.
This is the female dating coach.
Yeah, and interestingly, his last name is Hussey. So he's out there teaching the hussies how to get long-term relationships.
I'm not even sure if this guy is into me because he didn't ask me any single question on the first date. But I did agree to go on a second date, and my best friend Sophia told me that anytime that there's silence, I need to learn to shut the F up and take a sip of my water and let him fill the silence and ask me questions. And then
that actually is not bad advice. The idea that, we ourselves might be talking too much to really create the space for someone to feel like there's a part for them to play. When we are in the position of feeling like, if we don't talk, the other person's not going to do all of the work for us, we're more likely to step into that position of asking some questions. If you relate at all to being a people pleaser, to fawning as a behavior, to feeling like you feel awkward easily, then you may have a tendency towards filling any silence, even before it's occurred, making sure there never will be a silence, because the idea of that silence is just so painfully anxiety-inducing for you. So you say, I'm just going to keep asking questions, and then at the end of the conversation you go, they didn't ask me anything. Sometimes giving them a chance to, or putting them under pressure to, can be a good thing.
Wait a second. Did you just victim blame?
Yeah.
I think you just victim blamed.
He completely ignored the roots of the problem she was presenting.
He's like, no, baby, you were talking too much. That's crazy. Interesting. Anyways, let's get to the
So she
meat
was
of it.
saying, if a man doesn't want to ask you questions, stay silent and see if he does. Which, in all honesty, if a man's not asking you questions and he doesn't know how to play that conversation tennis, like, he's not.
You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't care, or I don't know, maybe some people are awkward or they're nervous on the first date, but
Even so, yeah, you're grown at that point. I mean, like, this is a tactic that detectives use in police interrogations to catch somebody who's murdered. You know, they wait and sit in silence and then hope that you'll get so uncomfortable that you start filling in the space and explaining things that they can start jotting down. I don't know that we want to do the same thing on a first date.
We will ask the question.
But if you want to be like a little charitable, it's like, I'm nervous, you're nervous. We're just going to wait here and see.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask me anything?
I think it's healthy if they can sit in silence, but they should just also ask you questions.
Right. It's a problem that you should get over pretty quickly. I mean, if it's a consistent thing, like all throughout, like sitting out, a 2-hour dinner, he doesn't ask you a single question. I don't think the problem is nervousness. Probably not. Hopefully he's curious. I mean, it's actually a good way of like figuring out what a man's intentions are. If his intentions are truly like not to get to know you, that'll be very clear in just the natural way he converses with you. So yeah, that would not be. She went on a second date with him. What? He didn't ask you one question and you went on.
I think it's also a sign of narcissism for them to just sell themselves and talk about themselves and to not even care to get to know you too.
Right,
It's a big red flag.
I'm like, I don't know. I might have a touch of the tism because I would look at him straight. Now you ask me a question.
So, is there anything you care to ask me?
No.
Oh, right.
Straight up. What? Like, what?
What do you want to talk about now?
Yeah. Once I've decided like this is not going well, you either leave the date or you make it interesting. And I mean, at that point, sorry. Ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, Ask questions. Here's another one. If you beg for his attention.
Find yourself begging for his attention. Not begging, okay, asking for his attention. If you find yourself asking for his time, the bare minimum, you get what I'm saying. I think it's time for you to start reassessing what you're doing, because at this point, it's like you're in a two-person rowboat, but only you are rowing. If you find yourself begging for...
Yeah.
Seems pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're like a submissive and you're into that, like, that dominatrix begging for crumbs lifestyle. I don't know if that's your kink.
I mean, I think he's meaning like if you're the one constantly reaching out first, trying to contact him first, trying to make plans, like that's you begging for attention.
Yeah, no,
and you should not be doing that as a woman.
Yeah. No, or like anybody, probably. You shouldn't be begging anybody for attention. I mean, the dynamic that sets off in your relationship is if you are somebody not worthy of it and you have to like ask to be loved. Not a good one. Not a good one. I think that'd be like the work of like a narcissist or a manipulator. I know we're throwing around like therapy language or whatever, pop therapy language these days, but yeah, it's not a good precedent to set. Almost simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Next. Now this guy I see on TikTok all the time.
His name is Montaigne.
He's always showing off his underwear and talking to the ladies. Let's see what he has to say.
Oh, hey, do you want to hear another absolutely disgusting secret about men that they
Not the pulling up the shirt so people can see the V and going, oh, hey, ladies.
First comment, is he getting hotter?
That's like me having my tits out and then being like,
hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Cut that out. Cut that out.
we do not want you to know. And as usual, this is an absolutely foolproof method, so please pay attention and do not tell anybody that I told you. When it comes to talking to a man, you have way more power and agency than you think you do, so let me explain. For example, if you've had any less than stellar experiences with men in the bedroom, let's say, I'm going to tell you why it is probably happening. When you either compliment a man too much, whether it's the way he looks, how he is, before he's fully earned it from you, a man will get in his head and have an inflated sense of ego. And when that happens, he thinks, oh, I've already kind of earned this level of respect from her. I don't need to do much more work in order to get it. And therefore, when it comes to things in the bedroom, you think he's going to try as hard as he would if he were like still on his toes and had not earned your full level of respect? Absolutely not. So your big disgusting secret of the day is, if you want the man you're talking to work harder when it comes to the bedroom or work harder in any other aspect, do not compliment him off the bat. Do not be too nice to him off the bat. You can play a little bit of a game with him. I promise you, if he likes you enough, he's going to work harder in every area.
I'm really wrestling with myself right now because the advice is okay, but also this man, if you date him, is going to manipulate the shit out of you, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm letting you, this whole, I'm going to tell you a secret about men and how disgusting they are. Don't tell anybody that I told you, even though I'm posting it on my public platform that has over 2 million followers. Don't tell them, ladies, that I told you.
You're very manipulative and conniving, and I don't like it.
Okay.
Trying to mirror your behavior.
They're trying to mirror you so that they can get in your pants. Okay. Oh, oops. Do you want me to tell you something about women that's awful about them? I'm sorry. I can't. Okay, now actually to the heart of the conversation, to the actual advice.
Don't compliment him in bed or in anything. I think men want respect, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to compliment a little bit. I get what he's saying, though. Don't overdo it.
I mean, the general advice is just be genuine. If you're disingenuous with somebody, what it's going to give you is disingenuousness back. Or it's going to manifest in ways that are not genuine or do not feel good because they're not honest. So if you are lying to somebody and like complimenting and just swooning over everything that they do.
No one likes that, though.
Right.
I think it also gets rid of that challenge aspect that men want.
Yeah. Just like be real.
Don't give him too much. But be honest about your opinions.
Yeah, respect him, give him a compliment where it's actually warranted. If you're actually thinking like, okay, that deserves a compliment. Now, if you compliment him too much, is he going to like suck in bed more? I
think you could say most people get lax in relationships a lot of the time.
Right.
That's true for both genders.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would happen maybe what happened at the beginning.
I gotta be in the conversations that I've had. I don't think men are typically going into the bedroom trying to impress. I literally don't think that is 95% of the time. I don't think that's at the front of their mind ever. To be, funny. I feel like when I talk to women and we're talking about like conversations like this, it's like a shock if a man tries. It's like, oh, he tried.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Risa's gonna flip the table.
I don't agree, but I will say that like you just have to be selective with the type of personality, and I think you can tell exactly who they are as a person. Tells you everything they do in bed.
Yeah, like women are picking shitty men, and then they're like surprised when it's not good.
Like he doesn't text you back on time, and then
and then you think he's gonna perform. You think he's gonna come tap dance?
Yeah. I can't. You're gonna get one more text. You're gonna get 1 minute sex.
Oh wow! Put that on a pillow. Put that on a pillow. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. We were talking about this, and I'm like, okay, from an evolutionary perspective, I can really understand why I think a lot of women are having these experiences with men. Because if you think about like procreation, I'm really gonna hyper intellectualize this, but procreation on a human level. It's not required for a woman to get anything from the sexual experiences. In fact, it's required for her to perform. If she wants children, she has to perform for this guy. He has to get his rocks off. Then a baby comes. There's no part of the female anatomy that is really cared about other than, taking this genetic material and making it into a child. So I could see like with that being the standard for all of human existence, men are not programmed to care what happens with women in the bedroom. They have to be socialized to care about those things. And because women are becoming more sexual and more expressive about those things, now men are being socialized to care. But they don't care at baseline. So like, I'm not surprised that most people have those experiences.
Yeah, most women do have those experiences.
Yeah. I would say like probably more than 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, look at those stats on female orgasms. I'll tell you everything you need to know.
Welcome to the things we talk about.
Don't repeat that. I can't protect you.
We're sociologists, okay? Anthropologists. These are anthropological conversations. Okay, let's move on. We don't have much time here. All right. This one says dating for ladies. I'm not attracted to him though.
You do not go out with men on a first date if you don't have a baseline of physical attraction. You do not go out with him on a second date if you can't imagine yourself being intimate with him and sharing an intimate moment with him. If those two aren't there, there's no reason to look forward and seeing, hey, let's play that stuff out. Now, your attraction will grow with him. So it is a little bit different than a guy. It can grow from a variety of things. He can be funny, he can be sweet, he can be charming, he can be semi-good looking, he could be successful, he could be competent, he could have a good confidence. Those things can make that up. But if you don't have a baseline of physical attraction, you don't go on date one. Don't be playing games with him, but also don't keep it going. Now, if you're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dates in and you can't see yourself wanting to be intimate with this guy, you need to let this go. Now, how do you let this go? Hey, Jack, it's been really well, but I don't think that we are a good match. But I really, really appreciate your time. That is it. That's it. End of story. Because
End of story. How do you feel about this? You agree?
I guess, like, because he does say, like, you can develop that attraction, right? But he's saying, like, if that doesn't come after, like, a couple dates, then cut it off.
But he did say you don't even go on the first date. We'll cut off the second, third, ninth, whatever. That is, of course, don't do that.
I disagree with the first date one. Maybe I would say second. If you're not attracted to him after the first date.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's no like redeeming qualities.
If his personality didn't make him more attractive, like sitting at a date with him, then yeah.
I mean, like women are far more inclined to date men for other reasons that are far outside the bounds of attractiveness. So I do think like maybe his male brain is a little bit more on in this analysis than it would be for most women. And he does acknowledge that it is different for women. I think there's a whole lot more mobility that you have as a man with women than there is any mobility as a woman with men.
Because they don't care about your personality.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. A lot of men, not all, a lot of them don't. I'm like reminded, I hate to be this person, but like Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, you know? Like she's in love with that man.
Yeah.
Love with that man. And the world apparently is in so much in love with that man and the whole like lore around him that they named him like one of people's sexiest men alive or whatever. And that speaks to womanhood. Okay. You are never going to see the female equivalent of Benny Blanco be nominated as people's sexiest woman of the year. She will not be in the top 50, the top 100, the top 10 billion. Okay, and we don't even have 10 billion people on the earth. Okay, it just simply will not happen.
No, women will always be more judged on the way they look.
Yeah.
And you can't redeem yourself. It doesn't matter how funny you are. And honestly, if you're somebody that has such a great personality that men love, they just see you as a friend.
Yeah,
Which
and
is
even
like
so, I don't think
stretch.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of men are friends with women that they're not attracted to in some way. It's just not happening, and that's just like it's human biology. To be honest, if you think about it, a man is looking. Again, I got to go for evolutionary perspective. A man is looking for good genes to procreate, and like he can work and build on like the personality or the politics or the values or whatever. Women are like, I'm taking a huge risk in being with a man. I'm going to carry his baby for 9 months. He has to protect me. He has to take care of me. That's far more about values and personality and like funniness and strength.
How you feel.
Yes. And then it has anything to do with how you look. You can be with a super hot man and super like insecure and unprotected. So women just have to think about those things more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say you on the first date if you think it can build. But after that.
Yeah. We know a lot of women that just go on dates and they're just like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. I'll go.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens, but they could be surprised.
Yeah, I think like too, if a lot of men who maybe date outside of their league, if that's what we want to call it, and use these like terms or whatever, they put in more work for that relationship, and then the woman becomes more drawn to that man because he knows he's sort of
he knows what he has.
Yeah, he knows he's sort of hitting the home run there, so you're gonna get more from that man too. So there's something.
It's that balance of power.
Food for thought. Food for thought. Is there any more?
That's it.
That's our last one.
How did the fish do, ladies?
I think it was pretty good.
It was all reasonable advice, most of it.
Yeah, I think so. You guys did all right. One of you was thirst trapping, and I don't appreciate that.
Nope.
Did any of them try to sell us a book or an ebook or a tutorial or a Hustlers University? Not on this one. Wait a second. What happened?
I don't know. Maybe they don't think women. No, I was gonna say they don't think women are as gullible, but that can't be true.
Matthew Hussey definitely does his tours around the world teaching women. He just didn't happen to say so in this video. I think he's sort of earned his stripes in that regard.
Oh God, yeah.
But you guys did pretty good. I give that a 8 out of 10. Yeah.
What would you guys think of a woman that paid money to go see a dating guru?
Oh, yeah. Let us know how that ranks. And is that different from, like, paying to go to a matchmaker? To me, it's, like, it's self-development. It's so long as you're not going to somebody who's, like, trying to, like, teach you to manipulate men. There's some people who do that. Like, do this on the first date and he'll be in love with you. Or, like, these just, like, weird things. But if it's, like, personal development of, like...
I guess it's green flag-ish.
I don't know if it's beige.
Beige?
Beige. Yellow. Proceed with caution. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments down below. How'd you feel about the advice? Have you used this advice? Men, do you second this advice? Even though we don't care, because we don't want to hear from the fish on this one. We're the fishermen this time.
Yeah.
We're the fisher women. The fisher them, is Sam Smith's.
Fisher them.
And what can people do if they like this video?
Like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Please follow us on Instagram. I've been posting our reels, so.
Risa's doing all the work behind the scenes. She's like a little slave.
I'm fine with it.
Which is a switch up on history, given our races.
Cut it out.
Cut it out, guys. Bye. We're not going to get canceled today.